Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for MWobbler Production. Today I'm going to show you how you can sidechain a filter. I'm going to use MWobbler for this, but of course you can do this with actually quite a few different MWobbler Production plugins. Lots of them have sidechains, and although you don't often hear about things being sidechained besides compressors, you can do it with lots of things and come up with lots of interesting sounds. I'll first show you how you can do this with a compressor with M-Dynamics MB, but then afterwards I'll show you how you can do it with the filter, of course. So let's hear an example first. I have drums, and then I just have some super saws here. It sounds like this. Nothing really impressive there. Didn't mix it or do anything there. But let's use M-Dynamics MB here, or actually just M-Dynamics, and we're going to sidechain this. So this is just in case you don't know. Of course, this will depend upon your DAW, but I'll show you how I'm doing it here in Reaper. So I have my drum track here. All I'm going to do is just drag this over into M-Dynamics on top of it, and it will send it from here to this, which says pad. I'm going to turn the MIDI off just because sometimes if this sends MIDI, it might interfere with MPowerSynth, so I don't want that to happen. So now I have the audio coming in here. Now to make sure this is working, where it says side in here, make sure there's something coming through here. You should see something being indicated here. That's our track. Also, if you're wondering like, hey, how do I get into this screen? This doesn't come up when I go into M-Dynamics. Make sure you're in the edit screen. So if you're in one of these, just go to edit and then go into default. I'm going to turn this maximize down because I don't want that. And now we're going to click enable on the sidechain. Keep in mind though that this sidechain is the internal sidechain. It's not the one coming from our drums. So to make sure that's enabled, you're going to have to use sidechain input like this. Sorry, I messed that up. Here, I just muted that, but we're going to click this here, this little speaker button. This is going to allow us to listen to what's coming through our sidechain like this. You might be wondering, like, why did you even do that? You can hear the drums over here. And the reason is I want to pull this max frequency down. This is a low-pass filter, and I want to get rid of all the snare drum and the cymbals, etc., so I can just hear the bass drum, because that's what I want to trigger this synth, like this. Now that's going to be triggering our ducking here. So I'll just turn this off. You'll be able to hear the synth again. And what I'm going to do is just move this ratio up and bring the threshold down until we see some gain reduction here. That's good. I'm going to bring this attack down because I don't want a long attack. And I'm going to set this release to the tempo of the song. If you just double click it here, this will come up, and here you can choose whatever value you want, 8th notes, 16th notes, etc. Let's try 16th notes and see how this sounds. Cool, and that should be done. So I'll unsolo that, and let's listen to this with the drums. So you get the idea. So that's an effect I'm sure you've heard tons of times, but let's not do this. I'm going to erase this sidechain, just bypass that. Now let's get MWobbler out because we want to do this with a filter. So I have it in here. You can do this with the MB version, but let's just use the normal version just because it's easier. I'm going to click default to make sure we're in this edit screen here. We have this here. It's set on 12 decibel per octave low pass filter, which is what we want. I'm going to bring this frequency down maybe around like 250 or so. And let's bring the range up maybe 33, 34%. This doesn't matter for now. I'll bring the resonance down a little bit too. Now, if we play it now, you're probably wondering like, what's happening? And that's because it's using this LFO. So that's fine if that's what you want, but here it really isn't. What I want to do is use the follower. So we're going to click enable. You might be wondering, like, hey, it's still not doing anything. And that's because of this depth. At 0%, it's going to be 100% LFO. At 100%, it's going to be 100% follower. So what we want to do is move it to 100%. You can experiment with things in the middle too. I'll show you that afterwards. But I'll show it 100%. It sounds like this. Probably like, hey, nothing's happening. And that's because we don't have any sidechain input. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go here to our drum track. Just drag this over. Turn this MIDI to none. And now we'll look here to make sure there's an input coming in the sidechain like this. Cool. We're going to do the exact same thing as before, but this doesn't have easy equalization and you can't hear it, but same thing will apply. I'll just use a low pass filter. I'm going to bring this all the way down, maybe like 400 something. You don't have to be so precise with something like this. And now that we have that, we're going to enable the sidechain. And now let's listen to it. I'll make this smaller so we can see the filter, so you can see exactly what's happening here, like this. Now you see the filter is actually following the rhythm of that sidechain. The problem is like, it's so low, how do I get it to like move all the way up and down? And what we need to do is move the max level. Before we do that though, I want to set the attack and release times to musical values. So I'll set this at 32, I guess. I think it's better to set it a little bit faster, just my personal opinion, but of course set it however you like. This way it's all synced up, and then listen as I pull down this max value. That's starting to sound good, but what I want to do is move up this frequency range and play with the resonance. So now I have the resonance at around 30, 40. Let's listen to it. The thing is, I don't want it to always be up like this with lots of resonance, but I don't want it to be so low either. So what I'm going to do is start maybe around like 25 and then increase the resonance range like this. So that way, as it moves up, it has more resonance. As it moves down in frequency, it'll have less, like this. And another thing I want to do is increase the range, so that way it goes up higher, like this. So you get the idea. To me, that's sounding much better as compared to bypassed. gives it much more rhythm and interest. And of course, I'm just doing this with a 12 decibel proactive low pass filter, but you could do this with a band pass filter, notch filters. You can try like formant filters. You could probably do something crazy with the comb filters, etc. There's all sorts of possibilities with this. I just want to show you kind of a basic one here. And it might be easy if you just have like 4 on the floor and it's just like the bass drum playing 1, 2, 3, 4. You can just use an LFO. But as you heard there, it's doing a kind of syncopated rhythm at the end. And that's kind of hard to get an LFO to do. You might have to use like a step sequencer. And to be honest, this is just easier. The more complicated the rhythm is, the more you're going to want to do this. So hopefully this gave you some cool ideas and showed you something new that you haven't seen before. And be sure to try this with some other plugins that have side chains as well. But if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Leave me any questions or comments down below, and be sure to check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.